Unexpected Journey, Memoir of a Siberian Deportee by Juzė Avižienytė-Žukauskiene. Translated from Lithuanian and narrated by Giedrė Kumpikas, niece of the author, and by Isabelle Kumpikas, the sister of the author. Chapter 28, A Garden, a Ray of Hope. It was full spring. Since we were a family of 3 working members, the chairman offered that we dig up and fence off a small piece of the former horse yard. The horse yard had already been set up in a different place, near the new stables. We started to work eagerly. Stasiukas, back from school, would cross the river in a small boat to the other shore, would cut down poles and send them down the river towards our chata. With them, he built a fence as well as he knew how, as well as he could. We hurried to dig up the earth, and that earth, having been pounded for many years into a road, was not easily dug. Other single women came and asked to be part of our collective farm. We accepted them. A small bed would be enough for each one of us. We had no means to fence off a larger plot and nothing to dig with. We had little strength. Besides, where would we get seeds? Whenever we could get a shovel for an hour or 2, we dug, pounded the clumps of earth. Here and there from the local women, we exchanged things for seeds, mostly turnips, some kale, cabbage, and carrots. My husband, having gone 26 kilometers to the Freeman, got 2 pails of potatoes in exchange for his new pants and a tablecloth. What a joy it was when in the black, fertile Siberian earth, weak little green sprouts appeared. It was a hope that at least for a while we could defend ourselves from hunger. We tended those little sprouts with our hands, or with chips. We watered them and waited when we could eat something. Here everything grew quickly and luxuriantly. This is how we, a strong family, lived. And what could one say about women who had been separated from their husbands, especially those who had small children? The Russian housewives in the winter, when the whole family came back to the village, to the small, tight chatas, would curse out these women who had been placed with them. Quite often they would throw out the small pot that these women had placed to cook in the stove, since they cooked only in the Russian stove, bread oven. As a rule, no one had top ranges, and outside one could not cook in the snow. Whoever could was repairing the chatas of those Russians who had died or who had left. From the strong ones who obtained their own chata was the teacher Markvenas, also with 3 children, and 2 young single women. There was also a woman, B.L., who played up to the chairman and would get from him at times this or that. What can one say? One warded off hunger in any way one could. When my husband began to cough up blood after his pneumonia, Mrs. Yasinskiene became frightened that her small daughter, Yuratele, could be infected with tuberculosis and moved out. Giedrė buried her newborn infant. How could I recount the miseries of all?